Dreams are magical things. They're instinctual, limitless, and priceless, especially when we're young and filled with wonder. Growing up in a small town in Massachusetts, Louis Marden always dreamed of becoming an explorer. He imagined sailing on the high seas, trekking down the open road, and flying through the wild air with reckless abandon. Armed with determination, an aqualung, and a 35mm camera, Marden would go on to revolutionize the National Geographic Society as a celebrated photographer, lecturer, and explorer. His career at the magazine lasted over 40 years and included 60 articles, 11 travel films, and thousands upon thousands of photographs. This is the story of a man unlike any other who helped the world dream in color. In the early 1930s, Marden made the jump from radio to photography when he became a freelancer for the Boston Herald. With no college degree and little experience, his job options were limited, but he worked hard and kept his ear to the ground in search of a better opportunity. One day, a friend of his overheard a visiting photographer discussing open positions at the National Geographic Society in Washington, D.C. They were looking for young, unmarried men with the knack for adventure to fill out their ranks. So, Marden, being young and unmarried himself, hopped in a biplane and flew down to the nation's capital. He had no idea if he would get the job or not. All he could do was hope. As it turned out, that little spark of hope combined with Marden's passion for photography got him in on the ground floor. He was offered a position working in the Society's photo lab and quickly befriended his co-workers, other photographers, and even a few of the higher-ups at the magazine. He impressed countless people with his knowledge of Kodachrome, a new type of film that produced brighter and more continuous colors in photographs and film reels. 5 years after its initial release, due in large part to Marden's insistence, 90% of the pictures published in National Geographic were Kodachrome. This small but significant shift was just the beginning of Marden's revolutionary career with the magazine, which would soon enter its golden age under the guidance of a brave new leader named Melville Bell Grosvenor. Grosvenor's father had been the first full-time editor of National Geographic, and he raised his son to have a great appreciation for culture, exploration, and adventure. He and Marden became fast friends, and in 1956, Grosvenor would sign off on an expedition Marden had been dreaming of for years. An avid fan of the adventure novel Mutiny on the Bounty, Marden had proposed an expedition to find the remains of the famous ship a few years into his career at National Geographic. While Grosvenor's father and others shot the idea down right away, Melville could see the drive that Marden had. He wanted to support that drive, so he signed off on the project and provided Marden with funding to go to the ship's final resting place, Pitcairn Island. This particular expedition would go on to change Marden's life and bring the discoveries of the National Geographic Society out onto the world stage like never before.
Now we are going back to Pitcairn today with Louis Marden of the foreign editorial staff of the National Geographic, who last year went there to see what had happened to this remote settlement and to see if he could find on the ocean bed the remains of the Bounty.
In 1958, Marden and Grosvenor appeared on the CBS program Omnibus and presented National Geographic findings on national television for the first time. The artifacts, footage, and stories that Marden shared captivated the show's audience and caused interest in the magazine to skyrocket. Marden and National Geographic quickly became synonymous, with Marden saying in one interview, "The Geographic has been my father and mother, my residence, and my castle." Like any castle, Marden would go on to fill the society with many treasures over the next several decades. Marden became determined to document unique parts of the world that were beginning to disappear. He brought the threat of westernization to the attention of other explorers emphasizing the fact that future generations might never get to see or learn about their own cultures at the rate the world was changing. He spent most of his time in Latin America and the South Pacific, traveling to Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Fiji, Tahiti, and Tonga to document their cultures as much as he could. He photographed a wide range of people wherever he went to portray the full spectrum of each country's diversity. Marden's films and photographs conveyed an intimate grace and respect that few others in his field were capable of documenting. But none of his work would have been possible without the continued support of the National Geographic Society, an institution that allowed him to explore and celebrate the world in his own distinct and colorful way. When Marden officially retired in 1998, National Geographic editor Robert Poole had this to say about his career. During your 42 years of outstanding service to the Society, you have pursued excellence and captured it, perhaps more times than anyone alive. You have written, photographed, dived, trekked, and ultralighted with the best of them, and you have earned the respect and affection of all. This you have done with that characteristic blend of scholarship, perseverance, integrity, and grace. In short, the best that is the National Geographic.